All right, so we're in the villa that we rented in Villa di Sicilia in Sicily. And I want to show you, first thing I want to do is show you the really nice kitchen. This is why we decided to rent this. It's pretty much a professional kitchen, professional stove, you know, everything like that, and refrigerator. And so what I'm going to make tonight is a traditional Sicilian dish. You're all familiar, I'm sure, with like veal Milanese and schnitzel, where they fry something, they bread it and they fry it. Well, in Sicily, they make a similar dish, but they bake it. So I'm going to do that in a minute, and let me get a little bit organized, and then I'll show you how this works. Okay, so I am going to make Cotoletta Palermitana. So I'm using today some beef, some nice thinly sliced beef. You don't have to use that. You could use chicken. You could use pork. You could use even fish, actually. That swordfish is a pretty typical thing here in Sicily. What I'm doing initially is I'm just going to rub a little bit of olive oil on that. No egg. There's no egg. There's no flour. It's just some olive oil. Over here I have, this is probably, I don't have any measuring tools today. So this is about, I guess, about a half a cup of fresh breadcrumb. Fresh breadcrumb means it's not dry. I didn't do stale bread. I didn't have a food processor. Normally I would throw the food processor. I didn't, so I just used this grater to grate up some of this breadcrumb. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of pecorino romano, 2 tablespoons of parmigiano. And this is about 1.5 tablespoons or so of a spice mix that I found here. And you can use whatever you want. And the key to this particular spice mix is that salt is the first ingredient. So if you don't, if you're using one that's not salt, then you maybe use about 1 teaspoon or so of salt, and then the rest would be the mix. If it's a salt heavy spice mix, then you would just use that amount. All right, now I'm going to take the beef, and I'm going to really rub that in here. And you can see I have plenty of this breadcrumb, probably a lot more than I need, but that's okay. You definitely want to have more. And as I said, the only thing that's holding this breadcrumb on, I'm really going to press it, because the only thing that's really holding it on is the olive oil. So I'm going to make sure that I press it into the meat really well, like that. And like I said, I'm not frying this. I'm going to bake it. And that's going to make it, maybe a little bit less greasy than you would get. But as you can see, I'm really working it. I want to make sure I get this coated really well, like that. All right, so now I got this pretty well coated with the breadcrumb. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this baking tray. I've got it lined with baking paper or parchment or whatever. What do they call it in Italy? Donna, I think I had this.
It was carta forno.
Carta forno, paper for the oven. Okay. And so I'm going to put that on here, and then I'm going to stick it in the oven at about, this is like 425 degrees. It's 215-ish in centigrade. Yeah. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to stick it in the oven, and then we're going to come back in probably only about 4 minutes. So I'll be back. Okay. All right, now it's been there maybe about 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and we're going to take it out. And look at that. It's beautifully brown. That's all you really need to do. Just get it brown like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate this. I'm going to take it out to our little dining area, and then Donna's going to give it a taste. We've got to do the camera switch thing, all right? Don't have the big studio here. Just got Donna on the camera, and then we're going to reverse that and let her do the tasting. So we'll be right back in like 30 seconds. All right, we're in the lounge, game room, dining room in the villa. I am now behind the screen doing the cameraman duties, and Donna's going ahead and she's going to try the Cotoletta Palermitana, which, by the way, is Palermo. I mean, that's why it's called Palermitana. So she's taking a taste, and There you go. So Donna, what do you think of that?
Wow, it's really tender, right? And I like the crunch on it, and the seasoning is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and so, right, and it's not deep fried or shallow fried or anything. It's just baked in the oven, a little bit of olive oil to hold the crumbs on.
It's super simple.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. You're not going to get to see me at the end. You just get to see Donna because I'm behind the camera. But goodbye from Sicilia, and we'll see you next time.